Hey, hi, hello everyone. Thanks a lot for joining this session today. And I'm very much excited to see you all. Yeah, so since you all know that it's been 2 months that we have established a WiCyS India. And within 2 months, we have onboarded almost 180 members so far. And that's a huge participation, and we are very much happy for that. And from our database, we came to know that more than 50% of our members are students, and are also people who are trying to start a career in cybersecurity. So as an initiative to support you all people who are trying to get into the cybersecurity career, that's why we launched this free internship program, which is a remote online internship program. And we know that a lot of organization has a lot of cybersecurity positions opened, but only problem is they are only seeking out for experienced professionals. So what will the fresh graduates will do? For them, please leverage these online internship program, because once you complete an online internship program or any internship program, you will have more chance to get recruited. So, and I respect all for your decisions in order to take up this opportunity within WiCyS India to complete the internship program, because you have decided to take a career in cybersecurity. And trust me that it's such a wonderful career where you will have a lot of opportunities coming your way. You can utilize your analytical skills, technical skills, as well as leadership skills. So for all the students, I have one point to highlight, because people have a misconception that cybersecurity career is all about ethical hacking, pen testing, breaking the code. No, not exactly. So it's not all about ethical hacking, because it has a lot of other domains and other career paths within cybersecurity, like cyber forensics, threat intelligence, governance, risk policy. So it's a vast domain. You just have to explore all those career paths. So today we have arranged this session in order to make you understand what exactly is this free online remote internship program. And we will be, Harris will be talking more about what is the curriculum and what more details about the certification and what are the job opportunities that you can get post completing this program. So this has been made possible with support from MOS Cybersecurity Institute, which is our learning partner. And I thank Benjamin Moss, who is the founder of this prestigious institute, to support WiCyS India. And without much delay, I would like to introduce Harris Vasilkar, who is our speaker today. And he is a solution specialist from MOS Cybersecurity Institute, and he have been with MCSI for past 2 years. And he has dedicated his career and life for with a social mission to provide free education for women, veterans, and people in cybersecurity across the globe. So over to you, Harris.
Awesome. Thank you for the introduction, and hello everyone. A pleasure to meet you all, and thank you for taking time out of your Saturday afternoons to come to this presentation. Yes, my name's Harris Vasilkar, and like was previously mentioned, I'm a solutions specialist at MCSI Security. And today I'm going to give you a bit of an introduction to who we are. I'll walk through our online learning platform and our training methodology, and then I'll walk through the remote internship. And I'm sure you've got lots of questions, but I know a lot of you have already used our platform and registered for the remote internship, which is really great. But I'll feel free to take any questions at the end. But I guess you're wondering who we are. So MCSI Security, we have two divisions of the business. On one hand, we are Australia's largest corporate cybersecurity institute in MCSI Cybersecurity Institute. So when I say that, what I mean is we have over 20 classroom training courses. We have 9 certifications we've developed, and we have an online learning platform, which I'll show you in a moment, which has 1,000 practical exercises to train anyone at any level for 10,000 hours of cybersecurity. On the other hand, we're a consulting company, so we actually deliver penetration testing, red teaming, threat intelligence, malware analysis, memory forensic services to clients, a wide range of clients. And that's where the inspiration for a lot of the training which we've put into our online learning platform and the remote internship really comes from. It's what we do in the field as consultants and we do for clients, and our clients require us worldwide to actually go, okay, this is what is industry relevant and this is what we want to teach all of our MCSI students. So I guess the next best thing is to actually show you our online learning platform and walk through the practical training that we provide. So what I'll do now is I will share my screen. Awesome. So if I could just get a quick screen check that everyone can see the dashboard for the online learning platform. Awesome. So this is the dashboard of the platform. So what we've done throughout the platform is we've built in gamification. So every exercise, and I'll show you what an exercise is in a moment, but every exercise has a certain amount of points associated with it. So depending on the difficulty of the exercise, you might get a certain amount of points. Some exercises have badges, but what happens is you'll accumulate more and more badges, and what will happen is you can keep track of them here in your My Competencies area. So these green bars will start to progress. So the more exercises you complete, your green bars will progress here. And you can see we have a number of different categories we cover. So we teach practical skills in cyber defense, in digital forensics, general programming, GRC, lab exercises, open source intelligence, penetration testing, red teaming, reverse engineering, secure software development, security tools, threat hunting, threat intelligence, vulnerability research, exploitation, and Windows internals. Now, as you accumulate more and more points, we have leaderboards. So you can compete with other students worldwide in our Hall of Fame, which is our all-time leaderboards, and you can earn different levels associated with the number of exercises and difficulty of the exercise you've completed. And we also have weekly leaderboards, which have just reset today. So there's no leaderboards here right now. But that will be a weekly leaderboards for you to compete in. Now, one thing that with our training is it's all 100% practical and evidence-based. So as you complete exercises in our platform, you'll be accumulating and developing a portfolio. So we have a public URL for every student, and this is something you can share on your LinkedIn, on your resume or CV to show your progress on the practical skills you're learning. But as well as that, every exercise, you'll be developing your own professional documentation, your own source code, your own video demonstrations showing your solutions actually working. And that's what I'm going to show you now. So let's actually have a look at an exercise. So what we're going to do is have a look at just a GRC exercise. And this is something that at some stage, everyone in their career will do this. And what that is a risk matrix. Now, here's the exercise. So this is how our training is. And when I say 100% practical, you'll see what I mean in a moment. So this is the same layout for all the exercises. So this is an exercise where we'll teach students to write a simple risk matrix. Now, what you can see here in the green box is the category, which is GRC. It's a novice difficulty exercise. It's worth 1 point. And what we estimate is someone who's never written a risk matrix before, it would take about 1 to 6 hours to complete this exercise. Now, as you can see here, there's no video walkthroughs, there's no slides, there's no PDFs or any answers of any kind. It's truly 100% practical. And there's a reason for that. And it's really to help teach skills that can immediately be applied in the field. So as you can see here, we've got the title, the learning objective, and some specifications. So as a student, a great way to think of this is put yourself in the position that you are a junior GRC consultant in a team and your manager has said, hey, I need you to write me a simple risk matrix. And then it's up to you as a security professional to actually go and produce your own research and develop your own solution. And that's how you'll see all of our training and exercises is designed. So for example, your managers ask you, I need you to write me a simple risk matrix, and they've given you some specifications. So they'll say, I need this risk matrix to have 2 parameters, severity and likelihood. I need the risk levels of low, medium, high, and critical to be included. I will need you to use colors to represent different degrees of the risk. So for example, low risks is yellow and critical risks is purple. You will need to have a detailed table to explain what each of the IT security risks means. You will need to include an introduction, explain the purpose of the risk matrix, and describe the target audience. And you'll also need to provide examples of cybersecurity vulnerabilities and how they rate against your risk matrix you've designed. So what happens is you'll go online onto Google and you'll search, what is a risk matrix? What do risk matrices look like? How are cybersecurity risk matrices developed? And you'll create your own, from your research, a professional risk matrix. And once you've done that, what will happen is you'll submit the solution to us and we manually review every single exercise submission. So we have a team of MCSI instructors, and what will happen is you'll upload your professional document you've created and we'll actually manually review it. And that allows us to provide personalized feedback on every single piece of work you do to every single student to give a level of, coaching and mentoring to help you on your cybersecurity journey to learning new skills. So what will happen is our team of instructors will pick up your risk matrix and we'll assess it based on 2 things. One is have you met all of the specifications listed? And the second is your risk matrix actually professional enough that it can immediately be applied in the field? If you've met both of those criteria, we'll give you a pass and say, great work, you did an awesome job. If it's not, what will happen is it'll get a fail, but you can resubmit as many times as you like, so don't worry, but we'll actually type feedback. So maybe it's really awesome, the submission, but you've missed 1 key point. So maybe the introduction and the describing the target audience isn't quite perfect. So we'll actually say, hey, you've done an awesome job. This is where you might need to improve a bit in the exercise. And then you can go back and resubmit it. But once you've done that, you actually have a professional risk matrix that if you do work in the GRC field, you can immediately apply that. Now, what I'll show you is we do the same method for technical exercises. So let me choose something a bit more technical in the red teaming category. And let's go with, this is an exercise I really like. So this is a red teaming exercise where if you are a red teamer, this is something you'll have to do a lot of the time, which is to write a TCP reverse shell. Now, it's the same layout. It's all 100% practical and research based. So imagine you're working in a red team, your manager or lead has come to you and gone, hey, I need you as a red team consultant to write a TCP reverse shell. So what you do is you'll do the same process. You'll go online and you'll learn, what is a reverse shell? What are some common reverse shells used? And do your own research from there. And then you'll know that your reverse shell, the specifications given is it will need to be able to perform reverse connections over TCP. Your reverse shell, you'll need to execute commands on the target machine. You'll need to be able to upload files and download files through your reverse shell. Now for technical exercises, what happens is for the solution, you will submit your source code to us, but as well as it, you will submit a maximum of 3 minutes of video demonstration as just a screen recording of your solution actually working. So we want to see, is your reverse shell working at a professional level where if you were to use this as part of a red team, it would work immediately in the field. So I've seen a few questions in the chat coming in, so we'll hopefully I'll answer as many as I can, like just during the presentation, but then we'll have a bit of a Q&A session at the end where I can answer them. But everything here is self-paced. So what I'll do is let's get into the remote internship curriculum. So actually what I'll show you first is, because we do have a number of technical exercises, but I understand from the students maybe a bit of background on me, like I did only just finish my master's degree earlier this year. So I was a student, I studied with lots of cybersecurity students. So I understand what it's like to be a student studying cybersecurity and to try to prepare yourself to take that next jump into getting that entry-level position. So some students may not have the technical background yet. So we do have what we call a MCSI, Introduction to Cybersecurity curriculum. So all that is here on the dashboard, you find the new to IT. If you click enable, the view will adjust and you'll see a different curriculum here. If we just click exercises, you'll see the Introduction to Cybersecurity, but I won't spend too much time on that. What I'll do is show you what we call a concepts exercise. Now, this is something where if you just want to learn a certain concept in cybersecurity, it's only research based. So let's just have a quick look here. And this is something where if you want to learn about, the cyber kill chain model and the MITRE matrix, it's the same process. You'll go online and we've given some specifications here and you'll do your own research and produce a professional document for this and submit it to us. Now, let's look at the remote internship. So we've got it here in the curriculums, the MRI remote internship. Now, a bit of backstory on how the remote internship came about. So as a student, one thing I noticed when I was a student speaking to other students, and you may have noticed, is that every student wants to get an internship position in cybersecurity. However, unfortunately, there's more students than there are internship positions. So the way what we've done with our training method of it being 100% practical and practical skills that can immediately be applied in the field is we've developed what we call the remote internship curriculum to actually teach students across a number of different areas, these practical skills where they can really go and immediately make a significant contribution to any cybersecurity team or organization. As well as part of the remote internship program, we let you advertise on your LinkedIn or on your CV that you are completing a remote internship with us. And as well as that, the portfolio I showed you at the start, you can use that to demonstrate that during this remote internship you're completing with us, these are the practical skills and competencies that you've gained. And you can show that through your source code and your video demonstrations when applying for a job. And that would give the employer the confidence that, okay, this student, has awesome skills. We know that when we give them an opportunity to get an entry-level position, they'll be able to come in and make an immediate impact. Now, as well as that, upon completion of the remote internship, you'll get an official certificate of completion from our institute. As well as that, our CEO, Benjamin Mosse, will also write a personalized letter of recommendation for any student who completes the curriculum. And you see you only need to complete 80% of the curriculum to complete it. But that's something that can also be used when you go and apply for any job in the industry. Now, the curriculum has modules, so it's a bit more structured. It's a bit more, you might be a bit more familiar from your uni studies where there's modules for training. So what happens is the remote internship, you start with the lab setup, and then we have 10 exercises on security tools. So you can see the novice difficulty, and then it takes a bit of a step up. So once you're comfortable with the novice difficulty, we do have some advanced beginner exercises. And you see the security tools covers things like Nmap and Metasploit. The next module is penetration testing, where there's another 10 exercises. And you can see this uses PHP and writing vulnerable web apps and then exploiting those same web apps that you've written. The next module is the cyber defense module, where this uses PowerShell and teaches you different techniques of hardening machines and networks to avoid being attacked and exploited. The next module is threat hunting. So we'll teach you how to write Yarrow rules and perform threat hunting on malware samples. So you can see there's a lab exercise where we'll teach you how to build your own malware dataset to perform the threat hunting exercises on. The next is secure software development. So we teach you how to write really secure web applications that cannot be exploited. And then the final module in the remote internship is red teaming, where you'll actually learn to write malware that can be used for the reasons malware is used. However, we don't want you to use it for those reasons. But say you're working in a red team, this is all malware that, you know, are skills you would learn where you can go immediately apply if you had an offensive security position in the industry. Now, everything here you see is 100% practical, and it follows the same method that you saw in the other exercises. So let's say we take an example like this is something you may be familiar with, the tool called Nmap. And if we look here, so it's the same method. So perform a TCP port scan using Nmap. So this is one of the exercises that many students who start the remote internship will tend to do first. Now, what it is you'll you'll install a lab, and I'll show you those in a moment. And you'll use the Nmap tool, and what you'll do is you'll work out all the different Nmap flags you can see here. So ST, SS, SV, what they are by doing your own research. So you're really familiar with how Nmap works. And then what will happen is you'll start the screen recording, and you'll record yourself performing all these kinds of Nmap scans on a target machine. So that's there. So one thing as well, because it is 100% practical, we don't provide any lab environments or anything in the cloud, but we actually teach students how to build their own labs. So if we go back to the remote internship, what you'll see is we have some lab setup exercises. So we have here lab setup, and you'll actually learn how to build your own lab environment. So this is an exercise where we'll give you some references here and some frequently asked questions on what virtual machines you'll need to complete the training and how to set them up. And then it's really up to you to go and, set them up, and you'll have your own environment, which you can always use for any kind of security testing. So if you're a pen tester or a red teamer and you want to, run malware in your virtual environment to see what happens, you can in a safe way. Or if you're a blue teamer, you can, work out how to defend against attacks in your virtual environment. So that's a very important skill, understanding how to set up your own lab environment, something I found incredibly useful by always being able to just install and set up my own VMs to complete the training in. And now, as well as that, what we also do have is this tab here, VCT opportunities. So this is two things we're working on as well to really help students even more in their careers. So we have two options here, which we're working on. One is VCT freelancing. So what we're looking to do with that is create a program called VCT where students can apply and go through a technical assessment process, and that can connect them with the freelance work opportunities worldwide. We also have VCT recruitment here. So what we're looking to develop with this feature is when students achieve 20 points, they'll unlock a feature where their MCSI portfolio will be available to be shared across and connected with recruiters in their industry. So these are two things we're working on to really give students even more of a better chance to landing that first entry-level position into cybersecurity. Now, we also have, I know I've showed you that our exercises are 100% practical and there's no slides or video demonstrations or anything like that. But we do provide videos, and we talk about more, not answers to our exercises, but more just good topics and answer students' questions. So you can see here we have a student series, and this just answers some really common questions that many of our students have asked us, and we answer it in the form of a video. So you can see here some of our students want to ask, what is malware? What is an APT? And they just load the video and we'll provide them with an answer. And many of our videos, they focus more on questions students ask us or the business side of cybersecurity or learning soft skills. Now, what we also have is, because it's so practical, I understand there's going to be questions as you are completing the exercises. Now, we also have an online forum. If you go down on the side menu and click on forums and create an account here. So we've got a forum where students will always ask questions, and other students or MCSI instructors will answer questions with any of the exercises that we offer. Now, we do also have the Ask Questions tab up here, or you can ask for study advice. So this is a tool. If you click on it, we ask a couple different questions to help you can inform us of what your career goals are, what you want to learn in cybersecurity, and where you want to go in your career. And we'll provide some advice on how we can help you and which exercises in our platform might help you on the right path to getting to where you want to go in your career. Now, believe we also have just introduced this feature actually, which might be good for many new students to see kind of what some of our other students are doing. So we have what's called formidable submissions. So this is a number of MCSI students who've submitted an exercise that we've thought was just, really wowed us and blew us away. So you can see one of our students, Nathan Kerno, completed an exercise, write a program that lists the Windows access tokens of all running processes. And this is something where, you can view the exercise by clicking on the video or downloading the source code to see what this student did to solve the exercise. Now, as well as that, you can also form teams, which a number of our students or organizations we've partnered with do, such as Women in Cyber. So what they do is they'll work together to complete exercises. So some of the team members, they might meet up once a week or keep in touch via Slack or Discord channel and work on the exercises together to learn not just by themselves, but learn these practical skills with a few other people and make sure they're all continually learning some new skills. So as well as that, one more feature which we've recently introduced, but I think is very beneficial to students is because a lot of students, one thing we get asked a lot is the soft skills, about report writing, presenting professional, cybersecurity presentations. So we've got these guidelines here of how to present the professional documents when you submit an exercise, how to present professional presentations. And this is something where it applies to, completing our exercises, but can also apply to even when you have a university presentation as a cybersecurity student, when you have to present at meetings, when you're working in the industry, just these basic, simple guidelines, but can really add value to, what you're doing and your career. Now, every single exercise in the remote internship curriculum, as you can see here, actually, when you complete it, you'll get a certificate of completion for every single exercise. And this is something which I use a lot when I complete an exercise myself, is I post it on LinkedIn and it gets noticed by a lot of potentially recruiters or future employers or even industry peers to show you, for example, hey, this is a skill I now have, and this is an exercise that I've completed, and I can do this immediately in the field if I needed to. So in the remote internship, there's 66 exercises. So you'll have 66 certificates of completion, as well as the final certification that you'll get for completing it. So what I might show you as well is just using this method. So currently we have 8,551 students registered. We've manually reviewed and provide personalized feedback to 5,342 exercise submissions. And you can see some analytics here. If it will load, I might give it a quick refresh to see how our analytics are traveling. And then what we'll do from here is, let's have a look. And you can see here, so our platform is used worldwide by students learning practical skills. You can see USA and Australia, the two most popular locations, but in India. So currently in the last 30 days, we've had 734 different students log in to use MCSI's online learning platform. So what I might do is maybe I'll pause here because I think I've shown a lot. Hopefully I've answered a number of questions, but I guess I'll answer some more because there might be a few questions of things I maybe have not covered yet. So yeah.
Yeah, Harris, maybe I can help you with the Q&A. I'll read out each questions for you.
Yeah, that might be a good way to do it. I can see the chat's been very busy with questions.
So we have a lot of questions. So one question is, what is the duration of this internship program?
It's a great question. So the remote internship is self-paced. So you can take as long as you need to complete it, or you can complete it as fast as you can. There's no duration, there's no deadline on completing it. But we estimate that, so because you've seen how practical it is, every student's a bit different, so it can take them a different amount of time. Like for example, if you're new to programming, you'll learn programming as you go. So it might take you a little bit longer than a student who maybe does have a bit more programming experience. But overall, we estimate if a student was to dedicate maybe 1 or 2 hours every day to just working on the exercises and completing the curriculum. We'd estimate it would take about 3 to maybe 4 months to complete the remote internship. But yeah, there's no deadline though. So even if, you know, you were learning a lot, but it was taking you a bit longer because maybe these are all new concepts to you, and it took you a year, like that's fine. You have access to it forever, the remote internship.
Okay, thank
But
you.
yeah, yep.
Yeah, thanks, Aris, for that answer. When another question is this internship program based on self-learning? That means, do we have any tutor-enabled learning?
So it's all self-learning. So you'll be doing your own learning, but we do have a forum. So obviously some of the concepts, like it can be challenging because of the practical nature and is a bit different to other kinds of training. So for example, let's take this exercise, write a web shell. So what we're doing is if you do have any questions, so let's say you're doing this, maybe you're a bit stuck halfway through this exercise, all you need to do is hit ask us a questions, go into our forums and you type in a question and one of our instructors will provide you with an answer to help you out, or another student who has solved this exercise will be able to help you out. So while it is, you know, self-learning and, you know, you're doing your own research to develop your solution, there is still help available if you need it through our forums, or if you don't want to go through the forums, you can always send us an email as well.
Okay, thanks for that. Another question is, any advice for complete beginners in cybersecurity and how to go for this internship if a candidate is a complete beginner?
That's a great question. So it can be challenging, but I guess, you know, the best answer is to just do it, I guess, you know, so it seems simpler than what it is, and it can be challenging. I'm not saying that it's going to be easy, but you start with something you're comfortable with. So if you are a complete beginner, if we go to curriculums, the introduction of cybersecurity curriculum, that's designed for someone who is brand new to cybersecurity. So this is more things that can be done in a web browser. So 80% of the curriculum can be done in a web browser. And you see it's there's a few different exercises. So it's more about using online tools just through Google to look at maybe old versions of websites. We have a number of these concepts exercises where these are all research-based to teach you fundamental concepts of cybersecurity. And then we have, you know, some open source intelligence exercises. But this is maybe if you're brand new to cybersecurity, working through some of these exercises to just become a bit more familiar with, you know, self-learning a number of different cybersecurity topics, but then to, you know, jump into, and then slowly throughout the introduction to cybersecurity curriculum, you'll start to progress into a few more different topics. Like for example, Yarra rules, that's not programming, that's kind of a rule-based, you know, language to, you know, you write filters in to search for different things in maybe malware samples or files. But that's a great kind of introduction into getting a bit more technical in cybersecurity if you wanted to go down that path. But that's probably where I would recommend if you're brand new to cybersecurity, giving the Mike's Introduction to Cybersecurity curriculum a go first. And all you do is you find the new to IT and you click enable and it will load it up for you in a different view and you just click exercises and there it is. But if you have any trouble finding it, just send us an email, let us know and we'll be able to help out.
Yeah,
but I guess, yeah, overall, I guess, you know, just do it. I remember like when I was a student, when I'd never done anything technical before, you know, I was a bit scared using Metasploit and Nmap and these things for the first time. But that's, you know, the best thing I can say is to, you know, just do it. It's going to be a bit painful at the start, but, you know, eventually it'll be really worth it.
Okay, thank you. Guys, we are trying to address as many questions. Whichever is repetition, we'll not be taking it up, but we'll try to address all the possible questions. So Harry's next question from Gary is that, is this internship program only for freshers in cybersecurity domain?
So anyone can use it. So we call it the remote internship, but anyone can anyone who's eligible for it can be enroll in it. So even if you are already working in the industry, or you're a third year student, or you're a junior or senior even in the industry, anyone can use it. And I haven't shown any kind of advanced exercise, but let's have a look at, for example, something a bit more at an advanced beginner level. So you can see we do have some more difficult exercises. This is a penetration testing exercise where it's execute arbitrary commands on a server via a SQL injection vulnerability. So it's a bit another step up from the novice level exercises, but I hope this kind of answers that. If you do have some skills, maybe you've done some pen testing before, you're already in the industry, we do still have practical exercise to cater to you.
Okay, thank you. Another questions from the Malini Rao. She is asking in which format we need to submit exercise solution and what is the pass score for completing this internship?
That's a great question. So every exercise, let me show you. That's a very good question. So what we'll do is we'll load up this exercise. So this is one which, what will happen is we can do review results. So what will happen is, let's say, for example, this exercise, you would submit a PDF document of your findings for this exercise. And what will happen is we'll review it, and it's based on two things, the results, but it's only a pass or fail. There's no grade. You pass or you fail. And if you fail, all that means is you just get another opportunity to improve your skills, and you can resubmit as many times as you like. So to get a pass, what we look for is, have you met all of the specifications in your solution? And two is, so it doesn't really apply for this, or it kind of does, but is the document, at a professional level, with nice headings, it's formatted well, there's a cover page that, it is a professional document. So if you submitted a document in the same format in the field, it would be accepted as being professional. So and you can see here, if we go review results, it's only a pass or fail. And in this box here is where we would type personalized feedback to you for you to read on every submission. Now, for a technical exercise, it's a little bit different, the submission. So what happens is, because you do the video recording, so let's take this exercise, which is, use Metasploit to exploit MS17010. So what will happen is let's say you've recorded your video, you've met the specifications, you actually upload it as an unlisted video to YouTube. So there's two reasons for that. One, as an unlisted video, all you do is only whoever has the URL can see the video. So you would be the only ones who can see it, as well as the MCSI instructors, because you'll paste the URL in here, and that allows us to actually see that you've solved the exercise correctly. The other reason for having the videos uploaded as an unlisted video to YouTube is that's part of your portfolio building. So for example, every technical exercise you have the video demonstration for. So if you do want to include it in your resume as part of your CV, so let's say you're going for a red teaming position, and you've written all this malware in our platform, and you have the 10 video demonstrations of 10 different pieces of malware you've written, you can actually include the YouTube URLs in your resume or in a portfolio you send to a recruiter or potential employer, so they can actually see that, okay, this student, that they'd be able to immediately contribute to our team because they actually know how to write malware. So maybe I'll show you maybe a quick example of kind of what we look for in a solution. So let's say this exercise is a bit of a sample video, and let me load it up. So this is what one of our students submitted to us to solve this exercise, which is they wrote a program that captures clipboard data. So this is all we look for in a video submission. They show their source code, and then they'll show the program working. And this is only, you can see a 1:20 video where they're showing that they, copy something to the clipboard and it saves that file. And yeah, so that's kind of the way the submission process works. And in terms of once you've submitted an exercise, we would say to maybe within 72 hours, you'll have a response. So every day when our team gets in the morning, we'll go and look for, we have a instructors portal. So we'll go and look for all the submissions that were submitted in the last day, and we'll go and review them all. Sometimes, depending on the complexity of the exercise, it may take a day or two more, but typically within 72 hours, we like to recommend, most of the time actually within 24 hours, you'll get a response from our team on how you went with the exercise. So I hope that answers the question.
Yeah, it's clear, Harris. So next question is pretty interesting. Is this course for women or men? Obviously, I can answer part of it. So this has been made possible through WiCyS with MCSI partnership through a Women in Cybersecurity program within MCSI. So obviously, if you want to enroll for this particular internship through WiCyS community, yes, it is open for women only, but it doesn't stop you from availing this remote internship program from MCSI Institute directly. Maybe Harris can give an insight on that.
Yeah, so through our partnership with Women in Cybersecurity in India, the remote internship is typically a paid curriculum with us. However, through our partnership, Women in Cybersecurity in India can unlock it for free for their members who are women, and it's really to help get more women and empower women in cybersecurity, and to help them on their journeys to becoming cybersecurity experts. If you are not eligible to receive that, so what you can do is the free curriculum and the Mike's Introduction to Cybersecurity curriculum are available to everyone. So if you just registered a free account with us, you'll get the free curriculum and the Mike's Introduction to Cybersecurity. And the free curriculum does have 77 exercises, which many of them are technical as well. So you'll see we have some vulnerability scanning, some web app pen testing, some Yara fundamentals, some digital investigations, web application vulnerabilities, Windows hardening. So that's our free curriculum, which is available to everyone, as well as the mics. And you get all the same things. You'll get every exercise personally reviewed. You'll have be able to get points on the leaderboards, develop your portfolio. And from just the free curriculum and the mics, there's about at least 200 hours of practical cybersecurity training from both of those from free. As well as that, if you did want to go on and purchase the remote internship, if you're not eligible to get it unlocked as part of our partnership with Women in Cybersecurity India, we do have a shop where we do have our own certifications and some specialist bundles as well. And you can see the remote internship is there. So I hope that kind of answers the question there.
Yes. So next question from Harshita. Is it very important to have a very strong hold over programming languages like Java or Python? Or would briefly knowing about it will work?
So that's a really good question. I guess maybe I'll touch on my experience with the remote internship. So I'm actually, I'm completing it myself. This is a test account, so we can't see my progress. But before I started, completing it, I didn't have much programming experience. I'd just done a few basic classes throughout my university degree, where it teaches you some of the fundamentals. But, for example, like the penetration testing ones, like what I've done is, I've gone online and I've really, become a lot better at, say, PHP. So if you do have programming experience, that will definitely be a lot of help because you'll understand the fundamentals of how the different programming languages work. But if you don't have any programming experience, that's fine. Like you can still start it. It will be a bit more challenging initially, but in a good way, because you will learn so much. And maybe to give you an idea, so like, for example, the cyber defense module. So I've completed this module on my account, but before I did it, I'd never used PowerShell before. So this is where PowerShell is, a Windows language where you can use it to change different Windows settings to harden a Windows machine. So I'd never used PowerShell before. So what I did was, I went online. I found it was about a 1.5 hour crash course on PowerShell. I watched that. So I understood the fundamentals of it, how it all worked, some of the basic commands and, the syntax of it. And then I was able to, start solving the exercises just by going, okay, I know how PowerShell works now. For example, let's take this exercise. What do I need to look for? And what settings do I need to change using PowerShell to, find Windows Defender and then to check if it's on or off? and then to, turn it on as part of a PowerShell script. So yeah, so I guess to sum it up, it does help if you have prior programming experience, but it's not essential. You can still start and you can learn as you progress.
Thank you so much for that, Harris. Another question is regarding the job opportunities. It is from Malini and Sneha, and a couple of others are asking. Can you please give an overview of job opportunities that would open up? And is there any organization which is already tied up with MCSI Institute for Recruitment in India?
Great question. So I guess I'll start with the second point first, which was if there's any organizations we have a partnership with India for recruitment. The answer is no. But hopefully, that will change in the future as our platform grows and we have more students. But at this stage, we don't have any direct partnerships. But in terms of job opportunity, I guess maybe, maybe I'll start with the best advice I ever received around, how to, when I was a student learning about how to, get a job in the industry was just learn skills that employers are ready to pay for. That was, essentially some advice I got once, and it really resonated with me because, there was a lot of trainings where, you can just watch videos and you can just learn about topics. But that's why, I find this training just myself, and I complete the training myself. If you, do follow me on LinkedIn, you'll see I'm always posting which exercises I'm completing myself. So valuable because it is just practical skills where, it'll open more opportunities where the employer actually knows that you can do the skills that you say you can on your resume by, having the portfolio, and you actually have the confidence in yourself that you haven't just maybe watched a video or kind of read about Nmap. You've actually, really gone and, done it. Or even for pen testing, you can read about vulnerabilities, but here, you've actually gone and built your own web application with the vulnerability in it. So you understand how that vulnerability is created at all levels, and then you've gone and exploited it as well. So I think that's maybe what I'd say for that, just with the practical training part of it, is that just, employers, well, a lot of job requirements, they do have, you need to have, years of experience, all these things. Really what they want to look for is, someone who just really has skills that can immediately come in and make a difference and help them meet their goals and their objective. And that's where, the practical training part of which, we've outlined in our remote internship, really can help give you a really good opportunity, as well as, I would understand most of you would be students currently studying some sort of cybersecurity degree. So as well as your degree, having that practical hands-on, practical experience through our method of training. So that's where it'll really help, make you, when there's all these candidates applying, maybe give you that edge and make you stand out above the rest.
Yeah, thank you, Harris. And a couple of questions on, is there any virtual career fair that is being arranged through MCSI, or any freelancing opportunities through MCSI?
So what we're developing is what we call VCT freelancing. So what it is, there's a technical assessment, but what VCT freelancing we're trying to develop is a portal where we can connect, really talented students. There's an additional technical assessment as part of this. So you can always click inquire and apply if you want to join, but there's an additional technical assessment. But then we want to, connect really talented students who are based in India or whatever country to opportunities worldwide. So maybe you're really awesome, you could go get a job in a freelancing opportunity in another country. So that's what we're looking to do with that. And then on the, this part, the VCT recruitment, where once students gets to 20 points, we're working on a feature where they can have their portfolio seen by recruiters who want to, join our platform and see the students who are, doing some really awesome work in our platform and putting lots of hours to developing their practical skills. But what I would recommend is, just on the freelancing part of it, when you've created an account, go to VCT opportunities, click inquire, and you can always sign up and you can see the technical assessment. And if you want, you can start to undertake it from there.
Okay. So another question is regarding how we can register it. So that's a question for WiCyS community. So we have enabled this free internship program for all our members. So it's already posted in our website. I'm sending it over the chat as well. So please
Yep.
go to this link and register yourself through WiCyS India. Then once we get your registration, we will be enabling this free internship program for you. So you will be, once we add you to the program, you will be receiving a welcome mail to register yourself to the portal. So those who have already registered, we have enabled first 50 people who have registered for the program. They might have already got the program enabled for them. And for the recent registrants, we will be reviewing all your registration form, and then soon we'll be enabling that for everyone. Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe just a follow on from that. And then once you do get the registration form, you'll have immediate access. So all you do is log in or you create an account, you'll see the dashboard exactly as it is. And all you have to do is click curriculums and you'll see the remote internship sitting there and you can just get started immediately.
So next question is from Pradibha. She is asking, so there is curriculum is written, and so is this program expect us to have a prior knowledge of tools, threat hunting, running scans, or will there be any tutorials so that we can take it as a reference?
So you don't need any prior, there's no prerequisites, there's no prior knowledge needed. However, we don't provide any PDFs or walkthroughs or any tutorials to show you how to do it. It's really based on how a work task or an industry problem statement and how it would be solved as you're working as part of a team. So even as a security professional, you're going to be faced with problems a problem statement where you may have never seen it before. So maybe let's go and take a look at maybe something we haven't looked at before, and let's have a look at a Yara rule. So we'll take a look at something like this. So as you can see here, we don't have any slides or videos, but it's really is if you were working as a threat hunter in this case in a security team and you were asked to write a Yara rule that identifies Chinese executables before. So you need to go online. We do give some references here to help point you in the right direction with your research. So we'll see, you need to look at research language identifiers to help solve this exercise, and you'll need to use the Yara P module. But it's really to help teach. So not only would you be learning, a threat hunting skill from this, but from completing all the exercise in this method, you'll actually be able to really improve your research skills and your problem solving skills, which problem solving may be one of the most important skills that you can learn as a cybersecurity consultant, because all the time you're going to be faced with new problem statements, new challenges with an organization. Something's going to happen and they're not quite sure how to solve it. So you need to be able to think on your own, how do we solve this problem? You need to go online and do research. So that's what we're also training using this method. And that's one of the things I found so helpful is troubleshooting. So with the security tools, just sometimes they don't install correctly the first time, and just being able to troubleshoot and think through those problems. How do I get this working? So that's kind of, and it's designed that way to teach students and to prepare them for how to solve these problems and work in a security team in the industry, and to be really, really prepared to get that job and to make a difference for a cybersecurity team. Some of the exercises which we're starting to add more and more exercises with this, where if you look through, some of them do have little icons where they're little videos of, some might have a bit of a solution available. Some exercises have a bit of a video on some key topics to look at when you're doing your own research, but that's just only some of the exercise, and that's just to help students who ease into our method of this practical training, where it is a bit of a big jump from standard training which you would have experienced, where you read things. I know when I started, it was a big jump because I was used to watching a video and following along with what was being done. So I understand it is a big jump. So that's why we do have some exercises with these little icons here to help get started. But for most of the exercises, there's no answers or walkthroughs or video demonstrations. But if you did need any help, like I've mentioned, you just go to the forums and just ask us a question, and we're always happy to help with any question you have for the exercises.
Yeah, thank you. So guys, we'll be taking 2 more questions, as we are always almost running out of time. So we'll be taking 2 more questions, but definitely if you have any queries or any further clarification, please mail to WiCyS India, or you can directly raise the question to MCSI Institute directly. So last question, there is a question from Malini, which is really interesting. She's asking, will there be any guest speaker and mentor sessions to keep students motivated and learn new topics and clarifications?
That's a really good question. So I'm going to say kind of. So what I mean by that is we don't have, what we do is, we give a tool. So let's say, for example, one of the Women's in Cybersecurity members, one of you, students out there, you could use one of the exercises to actually give your own presentation to the other Women in Cybersecurity members. So let's say one of you completed an exercise which you found was really beneficial. You could even organize within your, with the Women in Cybersecurity India organization to give your own presentations and work on your own presentation skills. We don't, organize kind of guest speakers. We could always come back and do another one of these and maybe walk through an exercise potentially. But that's kind of the best way to do. We'll give you the tool, and within your own community, you can use it how you would like. One thing I would mention as well is, if you do want to see our instructors or the CEO Benjamin Mosse talk about a topic, you can always come up here and ask us, do a report bug, or ask us a question, or send us an email, because we do have these videos which we were filming a lot, but just because of the COVID, we've had to work from home a bit, so we haven't been able to record as many as we can. But you can see this series of student series. These are all questions which students have asked us. They've asked us, they want to know the answer to this question that they have. So some of the students have asked us, should they participate in bug bounties? And we answer it in the form of, so it's on mute, in the form of a video. So I guess, while we don't give, organize these kinds of talks and, guest speakers or anything, if you do want us to answer questions, just send us a message, let us know, and we'll add it to our list of many of our students' questions who want us to record videos, where we'll actually provide answers of, what we've learned from experience being in the field to answer your question. And, we'll have lots of these. We've got 30 right now. We want to have over 100 soon. So that's the best way to do it if you want to see us talk about a topic.
Okay, thanks, Harith. So the last question is from Bushra Sultana. She's asking, is there any cloud-based virtual machine setup in your platform to work on assessments?
So good question, a very common question. So I guess no is the short answer. So one of the main reasons for that is we'll teach you to build your own lab environment, which you can use not just for our exercises, but for any other, if you want to do other cybersecurity training, if you go to work in the industry, you will have the skills to be able to build your own lab environment. And one thing you'll realize, which I realized when I did this myself, is it's actually not that challenging. Once you've done it the first time, it'll look really easy. So all you do is, I would recommend coming to our lab setup and doing the virtual machine exercise. And all that is we'll get you to install VirtualBox, download the Kali Linux VM, the Ubuntu VM, Windows VM, and you install them all into VirtualBox. And then from there, you'll have these VMs on your machine, which you can use at any time for any of the exercises. But then you actually know how to install your own virtual machines. So let's say, for example, you're doing a university project and you need to test something, or you're working in the industry, 5 years down the track and you're a senior level position, you'll still have the same skills from completing this exercise, and you'll just know, okay, I know how to build my own lab environment. And some of the exercises, and that's probably the best way to do it. So now, like, anytime I need to complete an exercise, this just learning how to do it myself from this exercise has been incredibly useful. We do have one lab set up here, like Cloud VM for threat intelligence, which might help if you want to set up labs in the cloud, for example. But that's kind of the main reason, because it is an important skill to know how to build your own lab environment. Because in the industry, maybe you want to test something, but yeah, maybe the organization can't provide your lab environment at that time in the cloud, or there's some reason why you can't access the cloud environment. You can just go and quickly, install some VMs on your own computer. So we don't do it. We do have this little virtual machine icon here where you can, download a pre-made kind of PowerShell script, which will install a number of different tools, which will be helpful for the exercises. But you can will need to build your own lab. I guess, yeah, it seems harder than what it is. That's what I thought as well. The first time I did this, I thought, okay, how am I going to build my own lab? This seems quite difficult, but it's actually, once you've done it, you'll realize how simple it actually is.
Okay, thank you, Harris. And thanks everyone for your questions. And thank you, Harris, for explaining it very well, taking time and going through each pages of the portal. And I believe that Harris was able to answer most of your questions. And we know that you do have a lot of other questions. So please feel free to drop a mail to WiCyS India, or you can drop a mail to MCSI directly as well. So we have a lot of questions regarding how do I register for this program. So please go through the chat. I have posted the link for you to register yourself. Once you register, we will enable the program for you all. And of course, we couldn't all meet in person because of this pandemic. And also this remote internship program is another way you can see on a positive side of pandemic, where you will get a lot of time to work on exercise, complete these programs. So please do leverage this program and take your career to next level. And definitely we will be meeting for another mentoring session soon, and we'll be having some networking session to meet the board. So right now I would like to call our treasurer, Preeti. She will be talking more about other programs within WiCyS India and WiCyS Global. Over to you, Preeti.
Thanks, Abna. So first of all, I would thank you, Harris, for taking out time and addressing all the queries and the wonderful questions that all our members have asked. And welcome on board, and congratulations all the participants who took out time on a Saturday afternoon to join our session, and as well as taking the first step of opting for cybersecurity career. So we understand by taking up this internship program, you have an intent to get into this career, and learning by doing is more valuable, and it stays lifelong with us. And I think this internship program will give you a great way to learn with real life exercises. So with this, I also extend my special thanks to Mr. Benjamin Morse for partnering with WiCyS India affiliate with this amazing Cyber Career Kickstart internship program, and our President Sabna for making it happen for our Indian students and girls. And all the participants, if you have you are looking for more such opportunities, more such initiatives and program, please visit our webpage, WiCyS India affiliate. We have a lot of things in store for our community. Stay tuned with our community, get registered, be a member. We have for a special mentoring program available from WiCyS National, and if you become the member of WiCyS India affiliate, the actual cost is $95, but however you get a coupon, so the cost reduces to just $20. So there are so many other opportunities that are there you can avail. Follow us on our LinkedIn and Twitter pages. Stay tuned. we are upcoming with our dedicated mentoring session in first week of November. So with this, once again, thank you everyone for joining today's session and gaining from all the queries addressed by Harris and MCI Moose Institute. Thank you, Sabna.
Okay, thank you all. Soon we will meet everyone in person. We all board members are really excited to see you all on a video chat. So we will be planning to meet you all soon. Thank you. Have a wonderful weekend ahead. Thanks, Harris. Thanks, Preeti. Thanks, everyone. Bye-bye.
Thank you, everyone. Bye-bye.